Hello there, it's Jay here from Jay's Vintage Junk, and today I thought we'd have a quick look at these. What we've got here is a pair of Sinclair Microvision pocket televisions. Now this one here is basically mine out of my own collection. I've had this for quite a few years, and I mean it is in very nice condition. This one, it's not perfect, but it is still in very nice condition. And it works. It even has its original carry case with shoulder strap on it. It's got one press studs pulled through there, but it's still not bad. Like I say, it's got its original case, and generally it's in rather nice condition. It's still got its stand, which always seems to break off on these. It's not particularly bashed about or anything. It only has one thing that was detracting from it really, and that's that the aerial is missing, and it was like that when I bought this. The aerial's actually been snapped off right at the bottom there. Like I say, it's not anything I really use, it's just part of my retro technology collection. And anyway, I was in the local town the other day, and there was a junk stall on. I usually cast my eye over the junk stalls and see if they have anything interesting on, and I spotted this. And it's not very often you see things like this out in the wild anymore. I mean, you used to be able to pick them up, well, like that one. I think I paid like 5 or 10 quid for that from a car boot, but that was a few years ago, and like I said, it was in particularly nice condition. In fact, when I bought that one, analog TV was still current, because I actually put 4 AA batteries in it, and had it working at the car boot sale. So, like I said, that's how long I've owned that one. So that one. This one I picked up literally a couple of days ago, and I paid, well, the guy, I was looking at it on the stall, and the guy wanted £7 for it, and I was looking at it, and I was just about to walk away, and he said, go on, give me a £5 for it, and I thought, oh well, at a £5 I'll grab that. It's in pretty shocking state, this one, to be honest. It's missing its stand from the bottom. It's actually damaged here where the battery cover is. It's the plastic's broken away there, and it's generally just a bit more bashed up than mine. However, yeah, oh, that does click back on. It's just generally a bit more bashed up than my own one. However, it does have the aerial. It's a little bit on the loose side, but it just needs tightening up there. That's not, I can fix that. But it does have the correct aerial on it, so I was happy to pay a £5 for it, just for the fact that I can pinch its aerial and have mine absolutely complete. But what I thought we'd do in this video is I'll fire mine up first, because I know mine works, and show you a picture on this, and then I thought we'd just have a go, see if we can get this thing to fire up, and then we'll perhaps tear into it and take the aerial off it, ready for me to fit to this one. But I'd be interested to know and see if we can actually get this one to at least fire up. Now, one problem is obviously they don't have the transmissions for these anymore. So what I thought we would do is, I've got that Mega Drive that we repaired in the previous video here, and as that gives an RF signal out, we'll see if we can get the Mega Drive to play on one of these little Sinclair Microvision tellies. We'll start with the one that like I said, I've probably not fired this up in at least 5 years, but it did work last time I used it, so I can't see any reason why it's not going to work now. These are actually easier than most little pocket TVs to actually get working, because they've got a decent aerial input. Basically, you've got these 2 screws there you can connect to, and you can connect your aerial there, and we should be able to feed an RF signal in. So what we will do, I've got that little connector there, and we've got a phono connected into the RF output on the Mega Drive here. So what I thought we'd do is we can let's find a little screwdriver. That's what I'll do for this. We'll try connecting these round here. These were for an optional external aerial that you could get on these little Sinclair TVs. I believe Not particularly this model, because this is like the second model, but the first of these Sinclair Microvision TVs was the world's first pocket TV. I'm fairly sure that's correct. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm fairly sure they were the first pocket TV. This isn't one of them. This was basically a slightly later reissue. The first Microvision TVs were like dual standard. They could pretty much work anywhere in the world, and they was ridiculously complex for what they were. And then they simplified them and brought this model out. So this was like the second, I think, was the second pocket TV developed in the world. And then later on in the 1980s, they brought out yet another pocket TV which used a flat CRT. I've got a couple of them somewhere. I might do a video on them. Sadly, none of them I've got actually work, or have got any chance of working. But like I said, this we should have some fun with. So anyway, we've got that connected up. Hopefully that's the right way round. I'm not going to bother trying to run it on batteries or anything. What I'm going to do is literally just connect my bench power supply up to where the battery contacts are here. It does have a DC jack on the side of it there, but I haven't actually, it's like you need a super long connector to actually fit into it, and I don't know where my one is at the moment. So for this test, we'll just connect it up to the bench supply. We only need 6 volts on the bench supply, and we can use this to power it. So we'll connect that to there. We'll connect that one to there, like that. That one to there, like that. I think that's the right way around, isn't it? Yes, that's definitely the right way around. That's definitely connected up that way. So let's see if we can get this thing to 6 volts there. Yeah. Let's see if we can get this little thing to work. There we go. As you can see, we've got the hopefully you can see that on the camera. Let me try switching this light out. I might have to turn a bit of light out so you can see something here. Can you see that on the camera now? Let's try switching the Mega Drive on, and we'll see if we can actually got anything there. I'm just getting something from the Mega Drive. Oh yeah. Oh, hang on, I've got the Mega Drive in the wrong, let's switch the Mega Drive off. Hopefully it'll work this time. Can you hear that? The picture's very out of focus, but we are actually getting. Let's see if we can get that a little bit better. I think that's. Oops. We are getting, it's not a very good picture, but we are getting a picture on there, if you can see. Let's see if we can get anything better. It's not a very good picture, but we are getting a picture there. We'll just try swapping the wires over, see if that'll make a difference. Switch the bench supply off. I don't think this will make a difference, but we'll just try swapping the wires over. So you have like balanced and unbalanced connections, and we're not really doing the best thing here. We should really have a blown, like a little balancing device to allow us to do this, but for a quick test it works. Well, it works to some extent. Let's see if that's made any improvement. I'm not hoping up that much hope, but like I say, it's just to show that this is actually possible. So there's a lot of tearing on the image, but you can just about see it, I think. Let me see if I can let's bring the thing a bit closer. There we can see. Just about. Anyway, so that the point of this wasn't really to show this one working, because I knew this TV worked. I thought what we would do is just see if we can get any life out of that one, because I haven't tried it. It's exactly as I've just I bought it, so it would be interesting to see if we can get any life out of that. Put him to one side. There's even a piece missing out there. I don't know what's happened there. Are they buttons? Oh well. Oops, that's just pushed in on that side. It's definitely not in a happy state, this one. It looks like someone's tried to lever it open, as well as all screwdriver marks up the back end of it there. So I'm not holding out too much hope this thing's actually going to work, but we can see. It'll be a fun thing to have a look inside, because I've never opened one up. I've opened plenty of the other ones up, the later ones. Like I say, I've got a few of them trying to repair them, but every one I've got's got a bad CRT in some way, shape or form. The CRTs on these are quite interesting, actually, because the CRTs on these were actually originally developed for the very first shoulder mounted video cameras, well, television cameras. I thought they weren't really video cameras, because they still had to be connected with like an umbilical cable back to an OB truck, but we're going very late 60s when they first had them, where they could literally throw them on the shoulder and walk around with them. The little CRTs using these TVs were originally developed as the viewfinders for them type of cameras. Right, let's have a just see if we can get this thing to at least fire up. The wire is actually connected on there. That seems to have been twisted around, so we might have a break there actually. And the wires do seem at least attached on for now. Let's try getting some power up to that. It's off. Have it off while we connect it up anyway. Right, we'll switch the power supply on. We'll switch on. Wow! Look at that. No, I haven't, just tested this already to see whether it worked and then done this. Generally, I was not expecting this to work. Let's see if we can tune anything in with it. Bit rolling, but let's see if we can it's actually better than the other one, bloody hell. Yeah. This is actually giving a better picture than my I don't know if you can see that on there. Sadly, you're going to have to put up with the fact that it's going to blank and flash and what have you, but we can actually see there. That's giving actually a better picture than my than the one that I've had in my collection all these years. So the question has to be now, given that is giving such a good picture, do I restore this one and use the case off that one but the electronics out of this one? Because that is giving you a really, really good picture. In fact, let's it's quite sharp, that. Can we see that on there? I would like to try and actually, in fact, I don't know if I can actually try and play Sonic the Hedgehog on this thing. Lost the picture there. Let's get it back. I think the picture, there we go, that's back. Let's see if we can play. I've got the controller set up, so let's just, how can you see this? Well, I won't call it easy to play. I can just about see the, let's see if we can get the camera a bit closer so you can see this. That'll work. No, it's not perfect, but hopefully you can see that. Try and switch it into macro. There we go. That's about as best I can get it, I think. It is just about playable, actually. It's a little bit on the soft side, but it's definitely just about playable, I think. It's a pity about the flickering on the camera, but there's not a great deal I can do about that. I'll stop that now, because that's the... Put you back on the tripod. Well, like I said, I was going to just tear that down. In fact, shall we have a look inside it? Let's have a look inside it. We're not going to do anything destructive. It's like I said, the picture on that. Like I said, it's tuning in better than the one that I've had for all these years. So, the question is, how do you get in these things? I have a feeling that the screws are actually... there's one. The screws are actually underneath the labels, unfortunately. The screw there. Try taking this one out and see how far it gets us. Okay, that's out. That's that side loose. The question is where I think we're going to have to take this off. I really don't like, I think it's going to damage it, but Oh, that's interesting. It's got the same thing printed underneath. I think there might be another one there. Can't tell that I've got. What can I get underneath this with? There we go, under there. Unfortunately not. It is odd that they've stuck that right over the same thing printed on the original plastic. No more screw holes. That's going to be a pain. This one doesn't even stick over where it slightly overlaps where the I can't find any more holes in there. That's coming free. Nothing underneath there, is there? Ah, there's one. I've got another screw there. So at least I'm doing this on the beaten up one, so I will know how to do it on my nice one. And I think what we'll end up doing is making one really good one out of the two. Well, that was the initial thing I'd planned to do, but I weren't expecting this to actually work electrically a little better than the one I currently have. That was quite surprising, actually. Right, I'm just going to stop and start the camera because I don't want it to cut out like it did doing the. Right, let's try that again now. So we've got that screw out, so that's free up to there. There's something shaking in here, so. Ah, and we've got another screw. I found them all. Screw there. And a screw there. Okay, let's try and extract that screw. Extracted, and hopefully it will come apart this time. There we are. Be as gentle as we can. What else is something holding it at the front there? What's holding it there? A little clip or something? It's just a clipped in bit of plastic. There we are. And there we go. You can see in there, so we've got our CRT. Oh, it's Telefunken. So it's German CRT we've got there. We have our tine, and that's, yeah, it's a electronically focused and deflected beam. It's not got the magnets and the deflection chokes you'd find in like a conventional TV set. This is more like the type of CRT that's used in an oscilloscope, where basically to move the electron beam in a conventional CRT that's used in like a TV set, you've got sets of magnets at either side here, and by varying the magnetism on them, you get the dot to move around on the screen and create the scan lines. On this type of CRT, you basically use a voltage, change the voltage potential to do the same thing. It creates, basically bends the beam that way rather than using the conventional magnets. It basically slightly simplifies the way you drive the CRT. I believe you can actually drive the CRT more accurately that way as well, hence why it's used in oscilloscopes, or at least was used in oscilloscopes before LCD took over. Tiny little speaker on the back there. Underneath the speaker, I don't know if you can see that down there, we've got that little transformer. That's what is providing our EHT to fire up our CRT there. Absolutely fantastic in there. If we look, it's an absolute wonder of early, well, 1970s electronics, really. In fact, I can't really see that much in there to go wrong either. Obviously, these electrolytics could be suspect now. None of them look particularly nasty or anything. None of them I can see look leaky or bad. But yeah, that really is all there is to it. It's very, very simple. It's based on how many... Basically, we've got a driver IC there in a socket. I presume that's what's doing the vast majority of the work. It's an ST3-01-03. And UK, we've got 7840, which would be the 40th week of 1978. Which pretty much dates us here. That one's got 7801 on it. And what have we got there? We've got 7801 again, and that's the Texas Instruments part. That's an ST20101 for anyone that knows what them ICs actually are and do. I think they'll basically be a TV receiver on a chip type arrangement, which was basically just coming in by the mid to late 70s. So we've got another one there. That's a ULH2204. Again, 28th week of 78. So we can date this to probably the later part of 1978 when this particular one was built. So yeah, that's quite interesting. I'm not going to go any further with this today. Like I said, I think we'll do a possibly do a video in the future of that's quite interesting as well, actually. The aerial just seems to come out on one. Oh, it's held on with a circlip there. Oh, that's right, interesting. So that just must push down into a contact, so there's no wire or anything. Yeah, there's a little spring contact down there that connects that to the aerial. That is quite nifty, that, actually. So if I do want to take the aerial off of this one and put it on the other case, all I've got to do is remove that circlip, and I can slide the aerial out and pop it on that one. So this has got the better electronics and the better aerial on it. That one's got the better case on it. So we will definitely be able to make one very, very nice Sinclair Microvision TV out of the two. I'll put this back together again. So I was just more curious to have a look inside and see exactly how this thing was constructed. But it's really, I was not expecting this to actually work at that price. I was expecting it to be dead, but like I said, at a £5 I weren't too bothered about it being dead or not, especially being the fact that it had an intact aerial on it. But I'm absolutely delighted to find out it actually works better than my my previous one. I mean, my previous one, it used to pick up all the other 5 analog channels on its internal aerial, okay. But it doesn't seem to be as happy with the signal off that Mega Drive. But this one didn't seem to mind the signal off the Mega Drive. So I can't say it was the best signal in the world, but RF never is, really, is it? Well, look at it. It proves the point. back together. And it is a pity about how badly bashed up the case on this one is actually. If it weren't for all that damage there, I'd probably just consider tightening the aerial. Oh, obviously it's got some bits broken out of it there. It's not in tip-top condition. It really isn't. That is a long screw. It's threaded over a very long area, that. Dear me. So there we go. That's a quick look at a couple of Sinclair Microvision televisions. And hopefully we may do something to make one really nice one out of them in the future. I'm going to leave it there for now anyway. Like I say, it was just a quick little video, show you what I've got. So, thanks for watching and goodbye.